In this video, we are going to look at how you can master the Peel paragraph technique to strengthen your CIPD assignments. The Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development expects you to demonstrate clear thinking, critical analysis, and the ability to apply theory to practice. Peel, which stands for Point, Evidence, Explanation, and Link, provides a simple structure to help you achieve this. To bring the technique to life, we will use the question, explain Edgar Schein's model of organizational culture, and explain one theory or model which examines human behavior. We start with the first stage, the point. This is the main idea that you want to get across in your paragraph. A strong point is specific and directly answers the question. In this example, you might begin by saying that Edgar Schein explained organizational culture as operating at three levels: artifacts, espoused values, and basic underlying assumptions. By stating this clearly, you give your reader an immediate understanding of what the paragraph is about. Next comes the evidence. This is where you back up your point with credible sources and examples. Edgar Schein, in his book Organizational Culture and Leadership, published in 2010, described artifacts as the visible structures and processes in an organization, espoused values as the stated goals and strategies, and basic assumptions as the deep, often unconscious beliefs that truly drive behavior. You might also add a workplace example, such as a company that promotes teamwork as a value, but in reality rewards individual competition. This use of evidence shows wider reading and practical understanding. The explanation is the part that gives your writing depth. Here you would say that Schein's model matters because it reveals culture is not just about what we see, such as policies or logos, but about the hidden beliefs that shape everyday actions. This insight helps HR professionals understand why changing culture is so challenging. If the basic assumptions remain untouched, surface-level changes are unlikely to succeed. By analyzing the theory in this way, you show that you can apply academic ideas to real organizational practice. The link completes the paragraph. You might say that Schein's three-level model demonstrates the importance of looking beyond visible behaviors when assessing culture, which makes it particularly relevant for HR professionals. By doing this, you not only tie the paragraph back to the question, but also prepare the ground for your next point. We can now use Peel for the second part of the question, which is to explain a theory of human behavior. A good choice here is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The point would be that Maslow described human motivation as progressing through a hierarchy of 5 levels, starting with basic physiological needs and moving towards self-actualization at the top. For the evidence, you could refer to Abraham Maslow's 1943 article where he set out this model, explaining that people are not motivated by higher-level needs, such as esteem, until more basic needs, such as food, security, and belonging, are met. The Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development also highlights that motivation theories like Maslow's are still useful today, particularly when designing reward strategies that address both financial and non-financial needs. By combining academic and professional sources, you demonstrate wider research and stronger credibility. The explanation then adds value. You might explain that Maslow's model is significant for modern organizations because employees want more than pay alone. While salary may address basic needs, true engagement often comes from recognition, career development, and meaningful work. This shows that you are not only describing the theory, but also applying it to the realities of HR practice, which is exactly what examiners look for. Finally, the link ties the discussion together. You could say that Maslow's hierarchy of needs helps us understand individual motivation in the workplace, while Schein's model helps us understand culture at an organizational level. Together, they show that effective HR practice requires insight into both collective culture and individual drivers of behavior. By using Peel, each paragraph has a clear structure, is grounded in evidence, and flows logically into the next. When writing your CIPD assignments, This approach will help you make your arguments persuasive and easy to follow. At the same time, weaving in references to authoritative sources such as Schein, Maslow, and the CIPD shows that you have engaged with wider reading and strengthens the academic quality of your work. In conclusion, mastering the Peel paragraph technique will transform the way you write for CIPD. By making your point, supporting it with evidence, explaining why it matters, and linking it back to your overall argument, you create writing that is professional, coherent, and persuasive. Combining this with accurate referencing gives your work credibility and shows the assessor that you are not only answering the question, but doing so with depth and authority.